So the teams will get themselves into position as we come up on 1 minute to go. You see the clouds have moved in like Master and Commander here out on the Baltic.
That's full on. Here we go. This stat here, Hannah, is amazing, isn't it? So that's the number of finals teams have been in and then how many they've won. And if you look at the Blackfoils, their conversion rate, that's the highest percentage of finals in to wins completed. So I think that backs me up. But again, you're not backing against Los Gallos currently. And, you know, any of these teams who win, that's what we've said, a lot of gold medals out there.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think North Star Canada feel like they'll have something to prove. I know they felt frustrated that they've been in a number of finals but haven't managed to make it win. But it's going to be all on for this race. It looks breezy.
Here we go.
7 is the number. 7 gold medals between these 4 teams.
Well, that's pretty impressive,
Just
isn't
the
it?
drivers.
Just the drivers, yeah, unbelievable that. Here we go, so killing 12. So a lot of those other boats are early back. This is a good opportunity for the Bonds Flying Rouge, I'd say. Yeah, I think the Blackfoils are pretty trapped high on the line here. Big opportunity for the Australians to close this start hour. I love where they are, 5 seconds to go. They are maybe late on the other boats. Canada are slowing them up. Bonds Flying Rouge are going to be fast at the gun here. Brilliant from Slingsby. He's going to have a big lead at Mark 1. North Star got too close to the line there and they had to park everyone else up. Big lead coming for the Aussies. Last time out, the Spanish did start in the medal race in last and then they got through and won that final. So we'll see how it goes. Blackfoils, look at the pace on the Kiwi boat. Brave as you like on board New Zealand, but they're not going to get near the Bonds Flying Rouge.
At Mark 1, it is the Bonds Flying Rouge, the Rolex sprint leaders here in the event final at Sassnitz. Can they make this stick all the way to the very end?
Spain first to go away. Seems a logical move, Hannah.
Yeah, although it does feel like a bit of a risk. That early manoeuvre hasn't paid off so far today, but let's see what happens.
They come into the boundary here, so New Zealand get the right of way now, but they've got quite a big gap to North Star Canada. Their first to manoeuvre, North Star matched that. They'll be trying to just keep it tight, but at the moment the Bonds Flying Rouge have got a pretty big lead. But you've got to think, last time we had a big rain cell like this, it went to absolute custard just after it, didn't it? Hardly any wind, it got really, really sticky. Oh, North Star have made a little error. They're off the foils. Kiwis are going over the top, but the Kiwis have got to keep clear of them. Blackfoils are through into second.
As they approach gate number 2, the DP World Gate, the question is, where do you go? It looks like the Bonds Flying Rouge are going to opt for the left-hand side. Does everyone follow them? It does be the Blackfoils. North Star Canada is going to split, go the other way, as well as Los Gallos. So we have 2 for 2 on each side. We check in with Lisa Darmanin down on the water. Lisa, over the next 12 minutes, some big decisions are going to have to be made. Who's making the right ones right now?
Oh, I think you can't really think a minute ahead on this race course. A, it's just so changeable, but B, the visibility is really hard as well. So when you've got rain on the racetrack and it's gusty like this, it's hard to read and predict. So it's so tough out here, but obviously being in front gives you the choice, but being behind, you can see the holes.
Yeah, Stevie, Lisa's talking about the visibility. It is brutal right now. It is a full fog bank has rolled in with the storm, but we can tell you it is the Bonds Flying Rouge that are out in front. This is the form, Hannah, that we saw from Australia on day 1.
Yeah, and actually in the finals this season, they have converted every Mark 1 lead in a final to a victory.
That's a good stat. Not if you're on any of the other teams, but that is still a good stat. I mean, it looks gnarly out there, doesn't it? That wind's hitting him in the face. There's 30 kilometres an hour of wind. They're going upwind at about 35, 40, 50 kilometres an hour. So you've got rain hitting you in the face at 100 kilometres an hour. There's a reason Tom Slingsby's cowering forward there, I'd say. But big lead. Looks like at the moment the Blackfoils are holding on, but the Aussies have extended here. They've got a bit of extra space and speed. The fleet come back together, not a lot in it.
There again. Yeah. And your wheel, Annie, can't see anything. You call the board, Annie, you call the setup. I can see nothing.
I think that's come from a little bit earlier there. So he's saying, like, call the setup versus Spain. When Spain manoeuvre right-hand side of our screen, they'll very quickly gain the right of way and start converging. And obviously Charles can't see. So you've got to split the roles. You've got plenty of eyes on the boat. Annie Hager just gets down to leeward and she'll be calling that manoeuvre by the Spanish.
You can see the driving rain on the screen there. Feels like daggers when you're sailing upwind at this speed.
If the wind spin's good, it's the wind is fucked. All right.
Oh, excuse me for the language. I think he meant the wind instruments are not quite working properly was, I think, the intention of that comment.
Stevie Morrison with the proper translation. So here we go. This is like 3 of 6, the halfway point as they come up on gate number 3. It is the Bons Flying Roos out in front. The Black Foals of New Zealand sit in second. Los Gallos Spain, winners of the last 2 events, in third, and North Star Canada in fourth. This is the event final here in Sassnitz. And remember, the Australians have not won a race. You have to go all the way back to New York earlier this season to go to the last event victory for the Bons Flying Roos.
I think the wind's dropping a little bit here. But if the Australians get round staying on the foils, they'll probably be able to get and extend away. It's easier to stay on the foils going downwind than it is upwind. So I think that could be all right for the Aussies here. But if you don't nail your next manoeuvre and you fall off the foils, feels like it's dropped. Look, it's glass here on the water, Hannah, and that rain has passed through. Black Foils look like they've lost some distance.
Yeah, I think the Bons Flying Roos have got a nice lead at the moment, but this race is definitely not over yet. I think there's potential for the Prix to drop right off after this rain has passed through.
Black Foals are on the inside, so they do have the right of way, but I don't think you're going to want to do an extra manoeuvre there. No, look,
right in front of him.
Wow, I think you're struggling for wind in under the shore again. Remember when this happened in the first race?
Right.
All went off a bit, didn't it?
Well, we've seen this before. Remember the start of today on Super Sunday, we started off with a big breeze, Stevie, and then all of a sudden, as Lisa reported, there's pockets of nothing, and teams were sailing into those pockets of nothing, and one of those teams was the Bons Flying Roos. They had a lead, they sailed into no pressure, and then they watched people go past them.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, there's definitely still some good breeze coming. Maybe it won't drop off. I mean, maybe Lisa can see out on the water. I don't. Lisa, are you seeing a big shutdown, or are we going to hang on to a bit of breeze?
I think what we're seeing now is the lightest point. Now that's blown through, and a little bit more is coming around the racetrack. But it's still going to be super gusty, but not as bad as we saw in that first race.
Okay, so good news for the Bons Flying Roos fans out there, and good news for Deadpool and the Greatest Showman. Somewhere they're smiling because they want to see their team back on top, hoisting the trophy at the end of the day. Remember, the last time Australia won earlier this season was in New York City, and right now the Bons Flying Roos looking like they did on day number 1 when they won the first 2 races in their group.
Yeah, and don't forget as well, every event there's a prize pool of $800,000. So if they win this race, $400,000, which makes it a pretty nice race, pretty nice day out, even if it is raining. And actually, that's what makes it interesting. Canada, New Zealand Black Foals have just dropped back behind. Well, their chunk of the prize money goes away from them as well. So yes, of course they want pints. Yes, of course they want to win the championships. But who wouldn't like a bit of money in the pocket?
Here comes Spain now, moving up, progressing nicely, just behind the Australians, back about 300 meters, as Australia will opt for that left-hand side on our screen, right for them, as they spin it around. And as Lisa reported, looks like maybe the lowest pressure of the day has come through, and now they will be searching for those ripples on the water, looking for those dark patches to pick up some speed and seal this victory.
Just harder to see in this breeze as well, really. With this rain on the water, the texture will have gone out of it, and the Black Foals have really got out of phase down here, unfortunately for them. They've dropped back a lot of distance. Los Gallos, I mean, this would be pretty... Basically, if we think about the race to the final, Hannah, what does this mean to the race to Abu Dhabi? I feel like this is pretty much the Australians in that final. Los Gallos, this is doing no harm to them in terms of getting to that final. Black Foals weren't really in the mix. North Star probably needed to win here to be in the mix. I mean, this is going to help them, but I think might be too little too late. Artemis, USA, GBR, DS Automobile France. I mean, Spain and Australia are gone.
Yeah. Look at the Bons Flying Roos in the season standings after 8 events. They're sitting on 66 points. 10 more puts them on 76 points with 4 more events to go.
Yeah. And I think Los Gallos would go to nearly over 10 points ahead of Artemis as well. So, you know, massive weekend in the standings. Massive.
So the pressure has come down just a little bit. You see the teams now struggling to keep it in the 50s. This is the same weekend where we had a new speed record set in SailGP, 107.63, put up by DS Team France. Unfortunately, they could not convert that speed into a top 2 position in their group. Thus, they are watching this race. Jason Waterhouse making the cross. Here is Tom Slingsby and his crew. Here's the maneuver.
Really nice crew work there. See, the breeze is down a little bit here. They're having to work the boat quite hard, just with this 18-meter wing and the high-speed foils on. They're doing a really nice job on board the Bons Flying Roos, and when there's no one around, we know how much easier it is to sail the boat really nicely.
Soft in fire, soft here now. Stay with me a little here, guys. It's getting very volatile up here.
That's the voice of Ian Jensen there, wing trimmer. He's saying, "Stay with me, guys." He's talking to Sam Newton and the grind and Kinley Founder on the grinding unit there. Those guys they'll be puffing right now, I'd imagine. It's been a big day out, and he's saying, "Stay with me, because I've got to do a lot of work to keep this boat heeled balanced correctly."
Just tapping in best pressure.
You mentioned before there when the North Star managed to overtake the Black Foils, that changed
yes.
in overall, but that lead seems to have changed again.
Yeah, and I like where the Black Foils are headed, although they look like they may be sailing into less wind.
Looks to me like they're making a bit of a gain on Los Gallos there. The wind's rotating to the left once again.
Just a buttery smooth tack. You just come in when you need it most. I mean, the Australians, the pressure was on. If they would have fumbled that, Stevie could have opened the door, and no.
Absolutely, although it's definitely a lot easier to make any buttery smooth manoeuvre when you're 200 metres ahead of the next boat. I think a buttery smooth one from the Black Foils here to get somewhere near Los Gallos. The race for second's not over just yet. Spain have got a big advantage, though, and I expect them to manoeuvre right in front of the Black Foils. North Star are nearly off the foils, so yeah, this is... For those prize pots at the end, this is not good news for the Canadians, but the Black Foils have made a mistake here. They're going to have to do an extra couple of manoeuvres. It's really light, Todd, but that's not going to matter for the Australians.
At the final gate, it is the green and gold as they spin the boat around and see the fans on shore that have stuck through the storm and the rain and the wind. They can bring them home. They are the three-time champions in SailGP. They lead the overall standings by 12 points, and they do it again. It hasn't been since New York City in the Big Apple, but as they come to the line, your Emirates winning moment goes the way of the Bonds Flying Roos. If only I had a crafty line from Deadpool, I would throw it in there, but it probably would not be rated for this show. But congratulations to Tom Slingsby and the Australians as they get it done. What a great job. And the battle continues now as the wind has completely dropped off. And there's one of those holes that we were talking about of no pressure. Bonds Flying Roos timed it perfectly.
How's your timing, Tom Slingsby? He's absolutely nailed that. Crossed the finish line and then just said, OK, wind, drop off so we can enjoy the celebration on our own for a little bit longer. Here we go. Black Foils have the right of way here. OK, they're overlapped with Spain. Spain are in a really, really tricky position here tactically. If they've got to stay clear ahead of the Kiwis, if they get anywhere close, Burling will protest it. So we'll see what happens.
Slow down here. Slowly turning up.
Hard to imagine this weekend the speed record was set in SailGP because we now have got ourselves in an old-fashioned drift-off, and the most speed may belong to the Canadians.
They don't have any rights here, though. He's got a job on here on board North Star.
Oh, he's going to thread the needle.
Well, I think Los Gallos will hold him back, but I don't think he's infringed Black Foils there.
I'm going forward down.
Oh, I think he's clear. To me, he was clean. He had no rights, so he had to be totally clear. I feel he was clear, but this is not over yet. All the boats are pretty parked up here. Got to get those wing sheets eased, a bit of twist in the top of the wing, trying to encourage the wind round.
Pete Burling's got it going.
Well, Blair Tukes really tweaked that wing out. He's popped a little bit more twist into the wing. They're in glide mode here. He's got the boat rumbling forward. They'll be in disturbed wind, so they've got less opportunity. There's a gust of wind on the water just above them. You can see a slightly dark patch. That'll get to the Canadians first. I won't get a penny there, Blair, I'm afraid, mate.
Coming down. Your wheel.
Finish line is down from here, isn't it?
Yeah, right-hand corner. They're going nearly downwind in very little wind. So Canada, I like what they're doing here. He's going to sail more distance, probably a couple more manoeuvres. But when they manoeuvre on the boundary, Canada's going to have right of way and Spain are going to have to keep clear, and then Black Foils are going to have to keep clear of there. So this is all on.
25 to boundary.
So two-time Olympic gold medalist Giles Scott rolls the dice here and comes up with a strategy. He should pick up the pressure first. Look at this. And it starts to build, it's say right at 10 kilometers an hour, but it's 2 kilometers faster. Meanwhile, the champion's almost out of their wetsuits and they're getting ready to celebrate, and the racing's still on for second.
Oh, they'll love that. All on the Kiwis to keep clear here.
The umpires. Penalty New Zealand, not giving room at the boundary, go behind Spain.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit. That's really going to hurt them. Pete won't like that. He'll say, oh, I did everything I could, but I think he could have seen that a little earlier. He's got to drop behind the Spanish. There he goes, come off already. He's technically behind them. I mean, this is classic, isn't it? It's an absolute drift off across the finish line.
I did mention we went 107 this weekend, right?
Yeah.
So Canada will hold on for second place here at Sassnitz at the ROCKWOOL Germany Sail Grand Prix, and that means that Spain will grab third, New Zealand will take fourth.
Come on, who's going to get us third? The black foil's there first.
But they got
know.
a penalty still.
No, because they did drop behind them. They only had to drop behind, and it's a subjective distance thing.
Okay,
so
we'll see what happens.
They will have officially gone behind because the penalty came off.
While they're still racing, the green and gold, the Bonds Flying Roos are already on land as they make their way towards the trophy presentation. What a great moment this will be. Again, they have not won since New York City. It'll be good to be back on the stand for Tom Slingsby and his team.